Hi everyone, and welcome to Franka's Fab Family. You know who I am if you've been watching the show. I'm Franka, and this whole week we have been looking at ways to build up your children's self-esteem, to build up your children's self-worth and things like that. And yesterday I was really talking to some of the women in terms of how mothers and daughters can interact, some of the pitfalls, some of the challenges, as well as some of the ways a mom can be a really great role model to our daughter. So I was having some discussion with a few young women, and I'm going to dedicate this program to women who do not have children yet. Ladies, to you out there who you do not have any children yet, I want you to know that it's okay if you don't want any. Do not let society, do not let family members, do not let your new boo or your husband or anyone force you into having children if you don't secretly or really don't want any. If you at this stage in your life can honestly say, I don't really think I want any kids, please don't have any. Do not have any. It doesn't make you less of a woman. That nonsense of back in the day of, oh, a barren woman, she's a cursed thing, or they use religious things on you. You don't want to have to carry the baby. You see all of this responsibility that I talk about? I have 4. Now, while I always say my purpose in life were my children, and even being able now to walk in this understanding of why I love my children the way I do and why I wanted so many of them, for parents out there, especially women, if you know in your heart you really don't want any children, do not have any for anyone but yourself. Do not let your parents con you or guilt trip you. Oh, as a woman, you know you should give birth to a child. Don't let men, oh, I want to give you a baby, let me give you a baby. Don't let other family members, oh, when are you going to give a child? No, this is your life. This is your body. These are your decisions to make. You see how now they're making all these laws that in many states you can't even have an abortion if you wanted to? If you know you really don't want to have children, please don't let anybody talk you into having a child, because I'm telling you, the way in which you will care for that child will be affected, because now you have made a major lifelong decision that you know in your heart you really, really didn't want to. And the reason why I also want to say this is because I've come across women that the way they treated the children, they know they didn't want children. It's bad enough when a father abandons a child, but when a mom abandons her child, it's twice as difficult, because remember, we incubate the babies. We carry them in our bodies. And if a mother is having like distress and, man, I really don't want this baby, and all of that emotion and energy goes to the child from in the womb, then you end up having a child that you know you really, really didn't want. Your love and care and commitment to that child will be more than likely diminished, because you really did not want any children. Don't let anyone, women out there, and don't let anyone talk you into having more children if you don't want any. You know fully well, me right now, I still love children, but I don't think I would want any more children. And the reason why, I love my body, I'm starting to enjoy my freedom again, and while I understand all of that, it will be a very special someone. And the only reason, I have a particular reason. You understand? Do not let anyone talk you into having a child. It's not like going and buy a car that you could send back. It's not like going and buy a new outfit that you can take back or throw away. Children, when they get here, they are here to stay. So women, unless you really, really want a child for yourself, don't let anyone, any place, guilt trip you or require you to have a child. Don't do it. It will be one of the worst life mistakes that you can make, because children, when they're here to stay. You don't have to. Be responsible. Use contraceptives. Let a man strap up. He do not get to come on top of you. And men that don't want any more children, go get a vasectomy. Why is always the woman's responsibility? Why is always the woman's responsibility? A woman can only have 1 egg per month. The average woman, even though I had twins, the average woman can only have 1 child in a year. Like I told you some day ago or some week ago, when the guy was 35 with 32 children. A man can actually impregnate a woman every single day. Why is birth control our responsibility? Because men are inconvenienced when they have to strap up or go get cut? Women, we need to take our life back. We need to understand that a lot of the decisions that were made against our bodies were not made by women. So therefore, understand me and understand me well. Raising children, it places a heavy demand on you physically, mentally, emotionally. You get brain fog when you're pregnant. You go through postpartum sometimes after you give birth. I went up to 253 pounds. Imagine my little frame. I'm only 5'2", 253 pounds. I remember I couldn't even walk with the twins. I used to have to go to Walmart and drive on the little cart because I could not even walk more than 10 or 15 steps. And it took me a very long time, a lot of commitment and devotion to get my body back. Then I even still got a divorce. Still raising 4 children alone. I'm much happier, but it places a heavy demand on your life. And if that's not what you want, please, it's okay as a woman to not want any children. It's okay. I'm here to tell you it's okay. It doesn't make you less of a woman. That's a big fat lie. Oh, something is wrong with you as a woman if you don't want any kids or if you can't have kids. That's a lie. Women, this is our bodies. We have to carry the next generation. I know they're making artificial wombs and they're working on impregnating men. No problem. But until that happens, we are the only carrier of children. So unless you know you as a woman absolutely want a child, for you, not for your parents, not for your boyfriend, not for your family members, not for your husband, not for your siblings. You want a child for you. So you can honestly commit your heart, your resources, your time, your energy, your body, and everything else in between until that child becomes of age to take care of themselves. That is a responsibility that will be placed on you. Do not let anybody else convince you that in order to be a woman, you have to have a child. Okay? I just wanted to let women know that because I find that a lot of women are in prison. They know they really didn't want a child or more children. And ladies out there, from the beginning of time, you can never keep a man that doesn't want to be kept by having a child for him. That is another big fat lie you young ladies need to understand. When a man loves you, when a man wants you, if he wants you, he's going to want you if you have no children or if you have. When a man doesn't want you, you can give him 10 kids and he still ain't going to want you. Do not fool yourself. Stop using babies as pawns or as tickets to a ring, because it only make you into, or it will only give you a life of suffering later on. And children places a lot of demands on a person's life. And if that's not what you're prepared for, you and the child will suffer. I cannot say that enough. Happy children are happy children. Have you ever seen happy children? They wake up happy, they go through the day happy. When you see them, when everybody meet them, they're like, oh, you have such great kids, blah, 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 blah. Have you ever seen unhappy children? Not even the teachers at school want them. Not even the stranger down the block want them. Because it's bad enough the demands that children place on you, much less a miserable, unhappy, untrained child. It's too much. Let's stop bringing adults in. Let's stop bringing human beings into the world when we are not prepared to care for them as they really need it, because we need caring ourselves. We need development ourselves. Ladies, it's okay to not to want to have children. It is okay. And never ever think that you can keep a man by getting pregnant for him. More than likely, you just set yourself up for more misery and heartbreak. Children are not to be used in that manner. They are a gift, a treasure of life. And if you do your part, it will show itself in time. It always does. But if you don't, it will show itself as well. Right? This is your life. Do what you need to do to make sure you're happy in this life. If you know you like to travel, if you know you like to shop, if you know you like to get up and go and do whatever you need to do when you feel like doing it, you don't want to be bogged down with having a child, and I say yes. If you don't want to be grounded and have to stay put because you have children, just don't have any. Because the worst thing is to put yourself into parenthood unprepared and definitely unqualified, because you and the child, unfortunately, is going to suffer. I have one little thing though, for some of you dads. I want to thank you guys for your feedback and stuff like that, and for some of you that were asking questions. For early on when I spoke to dad to daughters, I have this wonderful dad friend of mine, and the mother took the daughter away, and she has been very difficult in him trying to bridge the relationship with his daughter, to the point that he said to me that he had traveled several times to the location where the daughter was, and he would have sat there for 2-3 hours, and then the mother never showed up with the child and was just like, she don't want to see you and stuff like that. And he continues to pay his child support diligently and stuff like that. You know what I would like to tell dads in that situation? Not only do you continue to pay your child support because your children or child needs to eat, but you also start writing your daughter. Start writing her letters. If you can find her email address, because I think she's a little older now, write her. Write her. Write her. Send her a card for her birthday. Send her for Christmas. Do any and everything possible to continue to seek out a relationship with her. Just don't decide, well, the mother didn't, she just did whatever. It's still your child. And if you have that desire to be in your child's life, I will encourage you to write a letter. Every month. You remember in The Color Purple when Celi's sister used to write her a letter every single month, and when she finally got it, she had stacks of letters. If you don't think that your daughter's going to ever get the letter, write her letters. Write the date on it. And when she becomes of age and you find her, you give her that box of letters. You give her those words that you wish you could have when she was younger and the mother stopped you. Fathers who want to have a relationship with their children, let me encourage you. Do not give up. I tell my children all the time, they could have been in the back of Africa someplace. Would that have stopped me from finding them? I bet you I'll ride on the back of a giraffe and I would have found my kids. Because a relationship for me with my children, not having one is not an option. And if you're one of those dads or one of those parents that feel the same way, please do what you need to do to foster a relationship with your child, because it is very important, right? And again, to you moms and to you ladies, to you females, if you really don't want any children, don't have them. Only have children when you want them. You're the carrier. That is a decision and a privilege we must be granted as the race that carries them into the world. Now, unless you meet a man that wants you to have a child for him and he wants to take on full responsibility and you just want to carry it and say, okay, but you have to count the emotional cost of that, because I'm telling you, when you feel that baby moving inside of you and you go through this whole spiritual journey when you're pregnant, well, I know I did. I used to feel like there was a gateway from heaven straight opened up to me. Even after the baby was born, it was one of the most beautiful experiences that I've had in my life. You may change your mind after, So just count the cost, ladies. Count the cost. You have a right as a carrier. And it's a privilege to be a mom. And it's a privilege if you don't want to be a mom. It's okay. I want to tell y'all it's okay. It doesn't make you less of a woman. Okay? I am Franka Potter. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Next week we are going to focus on fitness and health and how important it is to teach our children healthy habits to maintain a healthy body, a healthy weight, eat healthy foods to nourish those organs and those, everything going on within us, as well as some exercise and physical fitness and things like that. So join me next week. Have yourself a great, wonderful weekend. Love your children, love yourself. Be blessed, everyone. Franka Potter, take care.